Okay, and there the tractor goes. There we are. We got these things right here. Pick them up, take them along. For these boys right here. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Alright, let's see if we can't get them. Boy, there's a puppy. Whoa! He swooped in from up high and he stole it. Look, hi. Did Apollo take your leg? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What a dick! What a dick move! That was funny. And I am glad that I caught that on the video. Apollo, that originally belonged to Lakai. Apollo's like, well, I reevaluated that arrangement and determined it wasn't in my best interests. Hi, how are you? What is this guy doing? You're making all sorts of noise, bud. Oh, look at him. He's playing. He's playing. Oh my gosh, he's getting frisky. He's getting frisky. Oh, he's frisky. He's frisking up. He is frisking. I love it. Oh my gosh, look at him. Look at him. Apollo's like, what's going on over here? It seems like a lot of fun. Like, he's like, I am making it fun. Apollo? Apollo, not cool. Lackey, claim what's yours. Claim what's yours. Apollo, you have a leg. That's Lackey's. That's jacked up, dude. That's not cool. And then you left yours up here. Hey. Hello, all you fancy people. How you doing? I'm gonna see if we can try to get a little bit more consistency with this whole Fancycast thing. Man, I have been off. Been off work for a long time. Not a long time, but just in relative terms. And did you just puke? I think you just puked. Well, that's what you get for trying to swallow that thing whole, bud. I think I walked up and he's like, "Blah." It's a big old chunk of meat. And again, barely any chewing. Barely any chewing. Oh, potato. Potato, potato. Slato, slato. Got these two legs over here. Looks like Boomer had a pretty good run. Because Boomer was the one he was eating off of that back leg over there. And there's a front leg right there, but then there was also a chunk. And the way that it was supposed to work out, the way that it was supposed to be, was that, well, was that whoever got the chunk would get the front leg because there's less meat on the front legs normally. Those back legs are usually pretty chock full of meat. But Slade got the chunk and the back leg. But it looks like I said, it looks like Boomer already was chewing pretty good. He took some big old chunks off of that. Oh, see, there we go. It's working out. Slade's actually going after the front leg. Good. Good. Hi. Hi. How are you? Did you already have a little bit? Did you already have a little bit of them teens? The proteins? Oh my gosh, look at you. Look at you. Oh. Oh. Oh, shake the peats. Shaking those peats. Adorable. I love it. I love it. So yeah. Just got done feeding. Just got done. I mean, of course, that was the last bit over there. Getting those guys fed. That was the last bit. Really the only one who's left is Princess. Princess gets hand fed right now because she gets way too freaked out by the tractor. So she'll get these strips, long strips of meat that we can fit through the chain link, and we kind of have a standing thing going right now where we only want her eating if she eats from someone's hand. Not like stick your hand in the thing. I mean like cat's up to the fence and then you're putting meat through the fence. It's important to try to foster that relationship and kind of build that relationship and then bridge that gap so that she's not so freaked out by people here. Hi, Zoobs. What? What? You guys should just go and eat. I just wanted to get some video of you guys eating. Yeah. Go on, it's alright. What are you gonna, you're gonna switch? Zubiri was eating that one before and Raleigh was eating this one, but now they switched. Well, you know, they're brothers. I guess they just don't care. What's good for Ra is good for Zoobs, and what's good for Zoobs is good for Ra. And those are some really good, fresh horse legs. Yes, only the freshest of horsey legs for these boys. Some cats do prefer horse. Some cats, well, I would say most of the cats prefer horse meat. Some of them prefer cow. And then some cats will flat out like refuse to eat cow. But then it's like, we'll only have cow. And then they're just like, why are you feeding me garbage? And it's like, it's not garbage, it's food. And it's like, food that you got from a garbage can. Like, you are insufferable. Spoiled kitties. And then some of the cats, they're trash compactors. You can just throw anything into their enclosure and they'll eat it. Yes, sir. Princess. Hi, baby. I hope she doesn't get upset. I was the one driving the tractor earlier, and she was getting kind of freaked out about the whole thing. Hi, Princess. Hi, Snuffly girl. Good girl. See, and she's getting, it's like, hi. No, because I was driving the tractor around. Yeah, it's food time. It's food time. And some people are like, well, Derek, why don't you try to show an example of that whole putting the food through the fence thing? You know what? You're right. Let's see if I can go and do that. I'm going to pause this. Be right back. Okay, we're back. And I got some of the strips. And we're going to see if little Miss Princess... Ooh, hi. Hi. How are you? You hungry? You hungry? Want to try some? Okay, we're just going to start off with the small piece right now. Hey, Princess. 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 Hey. Nope. Oh, you stink. Princess. Ugh. And see, the thing is, like, I'm tempted. Hi, yeah, hi. I'm tempted to just put it in there and then just leave, just so that she'll have her food. But then that kind of goes against the whole trying to get her, like, she's gonna have to get hungry enough to be able to eat with a person there. It's important to kind of, it's like a therapeutic kind of thing. You gotta get over this. Oh. What I'm probably going to do if she doesn't eat. What this stuff? Oh my gosh, you sniffed it. You sniffed right at it. You sniffed right at it. Now, Carrie Lynn. And the only reason it sucks, I mean, if I had a little bit more time to like really kind of sit and try to get her to eat, I mean, I would just sit here and just talk to her and hang out, you know, for half hour, 45 minutes. Until she felt more comfortable, because that's oftentimes what you got to do. Carrie Lynn, our intern, she's been able to do that, and she's been able to get Princess to eat from her. I'm only at, I can only get snuffles. But it's better than other people, because Princess will actually, she will actively roar and growl at most anyone else, including Heidi. So, the fact that I'm at this phase, I'm very thankful and fortunate for. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to put that there, let Carrie Lynn know, like, hey, no luck with Miss Princess. She just wanted to snuffle. She just wanted to snuffle and pace. Hey, baby. Hey. Yeah, I know. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. You're just a little bit kind of confused. You're a little bit confused right now, but that's okay. It's just, it's a travel day. I have to get going. I have to get going. So that's the big thing. That's the big thing. Ooh. Oh, hello. Ooh. Yeah, had a bunch of time off. Bunch of time off work, so I didn't have to do the, you know, back and forth thing, back and forth. Multiple hours traveling out of state, which is what I normally have to do every weekend, and it was nice. That's just a big part of it, of just not having to do that. Yeah. Oh gosh, oh jeez. Oh hello. No. Ooh. Oh, what we got going on over here? Woo! Angry faces. Angry. Hangry. I know, he's being unreasonable. He's being unreasonable. Why would he do such a thing? Why would he have such an attitude? Say such hurtful words? I think right here, this is Nadal, and then that over there is Diwali. And it's just, Nadal is just like, I am sad. My brother has the grumps. And the grumps are directed at me. Oh. Where's Bonnie at? But alas, today's the last day, and actually it's like the final few minutes. Like this right here, doing the Fancycast, it's literally the last thing that I gotta check off the old to-do list before I skeet out. I mean, of course, you know, pack my crap and wash my hands. That's part of it as well. But yeah, it's definitely taken its toll, having to go back and forth like that. It's taken a toll on like the professional dynamic out here. I mean, there was a long period of time where there was a very good, very solid rhythm, you know, that Heidi and I were able to have, and it took years for us to be able to kind of achieve that rhythm, but it's like once we did, it felt really good. And then I had to accept a position at a faraway place, but still close enough for me to, you know, still be here on a regular basis. Oh, munch, munch, munch. Munch, munch, munch. Oh my gosh. Whoa. 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 Firebug. What's going on? So then, of course, you know, it affects things. It affects the professional dynamic, and it takes puts a lot of burden and responsibility back onto Heidi's shoulders, because there was a number of tasks that I was able to perform that she performed years ago that I started to perform on a regular basis, now that she was able to then not do those things so much, and then I was able to kind of pick up the slack, and it left her free to be able to you know, do more executive director type stuff. And that was a great thing. And then, yeah, so it's kind of wonka-doodled that a little bit. And then, of course, it's affected the relationship. It's definitely, you know, as far as our marriage is concerned. And we've had our own trials that we've had to kind of endure and get over. Hi, baby, I'm gonna back away slowly. You know, for having such bright and shiny fall flowers, that sure is a scary face. But it's you know, long distance proximity, the ability to be there, and then the subsequent elements and the dynamics of a relationship that can then be affected by whether or not, you know, and it's like, you know, like objectively, that reasonable part of you knows, okay, well, this is what it is, and through no one's fault, can't necessarily be there to support in a way that, you know, I could, or the way that I have in the past. Whoa, 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 whoa. But regardless of that fact, it still has an effect, and it still comes out, manifests itself in just a sting. And then it's just, you know, a lot of it is just a matter of just, you know, being there in communication and spending time. And then a lot of it is also, over the course of the past few years, and this whole dynamic's been going on for years now. It's been years that we've been doing this. I work away. I have an apartment, and I live with Serafina in my apartment. And yeah, I guess that's another thing. It's not a glamorous. It's just, I go to work, I go to the grocery store, I hang out with Sarah, I drink beer, and I edit videos. Like, that's it. It's not a glamorous life. But then it's like the notion that I have the option to be able to get away. That is a thing. It's almost like I'm able to then get away, but it's like Heidi can sometimes have this whole thing where it's like, well, I'm kind of tethered to this, you know. I have to be tethered to these responsibilities, and if it's not going to be me, then it's like this place will go under. And here's the thing, she's right. I'm not gonna, no. It's, people are like, no, it's not. That's not true. It's like, oh no, yeah. We are not to a place of autonomy at this organization. And that's the other. It's like, I wish we like, I want to be able to raise stupid sums of money for the organization, because increasing the financial stability of the organization increases your financial freedom. It means that we'd be able to basically hire more people and then kind of have a bit more of a breather. Be able to kind of do things a little bit more. Gave these two girls some cow heads. But sometimes there's been that whole notion where it's like, okay, well, you're kind of, you leave the facility and you don't have to be saddled with, it's like, and it's not to say that you don't have responsibilities, because you have responsibilities, I know that, but it's not like you have to be here, you know, doing the stuff, the hard lifestyle stuff. You know, when you're not here Monday through Friday, I mean, this facility still needs to operate, and you're not here to necessarily do that. You get to just kind of hang out at your bachelor pad with Sarah. You know what I mean? So there can also be a thing like things that get affected as far as that type of stuff, sure. And I won't say that there's something wrong with like kind of getting into that or feeling those things. Yeah. So then you have to go through because it's like in many different elements and aspects, like I have to be in a place where most times, like most days out of the week, I'm taking care of myself and my needs and everything. And most days out of the week, she's taking care of herself and her needs. Whereas before, it would be at least like 7 days out of the week, we'd be able to kind of support each other through whatever kind of means. But now it's like we have to have this dynamic where you adopt this degree of, well, I have to have like some kind of self-sufficiency. Not because I don't care or love you or am committed to the notion of us, but it's like you have to be able to operate. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. You have to be able to operate given those parameters. Yeah, you have to. So then, you know, I go from being here for years. I mean, almost a decade. I mean, when I'm talking about like this, I've already been here since, I mean, as a volunteer, as a regular volunteer since 2006. So it's been over a decade. But I'm talking about living here. Like living, I lived here on site for 8.5 some odd years, close to 9 years, close. And I was like, even volunteer, you know, in a close proximity for 10, almost 10. So, yeah. And then you go from like, okay, so then you build up your responsibility, and then you build up like the whole the idea of like, oh, well, he's a person that has the information and is able to. There's a degree of esteem. And then when you have to kind of move on, you're a bit more kind of out of the loop, or you're not as much of a part of the machination as you once were. And here's the thing: it's like you have to then, again, you have to take inventory of these things, and then you just have to reevaluate stuff, and then try to figure out the best way that you can kind of, you know, contribute and operate and all that stuff. Hi, baby. How are you? You alright? I don't know so much about you. You seem interesting. But the initial report was that you were a little bit leery about, you know, the men types. That you were a little bit more receptive to the girl types. So it's made me a little bit apprehensive about trying to come up and say hi to you, but it seemed like that was a nice little interaction. So yeah, it's had its effects. It has. Not gonna say it hasn't. It's definitely, it's definitely tested. It's tested hiding in different ways. But I will say that it seems like we've been able to understand each other and communicate in ways that are able to then, I guess, try to, adopt like the newer kind of dynamic. Because that's the biggest thing. It's like communication and making sure that you're being communicative and honest. That's important. And sometimes if you're, and I thought of this, I had never thought of this before, but I think it's a good way to kind of look at it. It's almost like, you have a relationship, and it's like when your phone has to update, when it needs like a software update. Like sometimes relationships need kind of software updates too. So, yeah, it's kind of maybe what we've been going through a little bit more recently, but ultimately it's been good. Because things weren't the best there for a little bit. You know, it happens. But it's a lot better. A lot more understanding. Yeah. Without getting too deep into it. Never for a lack of love. Never, ever, ever. That's always been the thing. That's always been the thing to... We even said, like, this would be so much easier. It would be a lot easier to kind of go through, like, these kind of rocky patches if we didn't, like, absolutely still, like, madly love each other. But it's just like we were really just not operating on the same wavelength, and we were driving each other crazy. Just absolutely crazy. But again, like I said, going back, a lot of it has to do with the fact that, I mean, I had to learn how to be a certain way because living on her own, she had to learn to be a certain way back on her own. It's like, so we had to become like these weird hybrid couple of these like two individuals who kind of came together periodically and had to make things functional, you know? Like I said, things are a lot better now. A lot better. So that's good. Anyway, I wasn't expecting to kind of go down that whole thing, but you know what? Screw it. Fine. Glad I did. Because it's stuff that people just you know, it's a normal part of things. Stuff that people go through. Hi. Ezzy choo choo. Hi, Ezzy choo choo. Choo choo. Hi, mister. Ooh. Hello. You're a good boy. You're such a good boy. Ooh. Anywho, speaking of the missus, she just got home. She was out with Des. They were getting their nails did. I said that I would feed. She's like, sweet. So I did. And we were fully expecting that I was going to be gone by the time they got back. But then I started to Fancycast and they just got back. So I will be able to give her smooches before I go. Because smooches are always a good thing. Anywho, thanks for watching this Fancycast. I will talk at you folks later, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.